Hello everyone. Have you ever seen the 10 largest ships in the world? The first one is 488 meters long and has a gross tonnage of 600,000 tons. It is larger than the entire Empire State Building in the US and is not afraid of tornadoes. Next, this issue of Gigafactory will take you to explore the 10 largest ships in the world. Please press and hold to like, comment and subscribe. Quantum Class Cruise Ship. The $1 billion Quantum Class Cruise Ship. This cruise ship is a new generation of luxury cruise ships built by Royal Caribbean Cruises. Currently, there are 4 ships in use and 1 is still under construction. The cruise ship is 348 meters long, 49.5 meters wide, has a displacement of up to 168,000 tons, and can accommodate up to 4,905 passengers and 1,500 crew members. The volume of this Quantum-class cruise ship is more than 1.2 times that of conventional large aircraft carriers. This ship is the Quantum of the Seas cruise ship. She was once known as the largest cruise ship in Asia because her home port is in Shanghai and her route is in Asia. This cruise ship is also the world's first smart cruise ship. On this cruise ship, you can not only experience a cinema and a gym but also skydive. There are many exciting large-scale projects such as rock climbing and surfing, and there is even an observation deck located more than 100 meters above sea level to enjoy the scenery. This journey is interesting enough, but there are other cruise ships that are even more amazing. Oasis-class cruise ship. The Oasis-class cruise ship costs $1.4 billion. This is also a series of luxury cruise ships built by Royal Caribbean Cruises. This luxury cruise ship can no longer be called a ship, but a steel city that can freely sail on the sea because it is so large. Let's talk about the largest Miracle of the Seas series in Oasis. The Miracle of the Seas hull is 362 meters, the total width is 64 meters and the maximum displacement is about 240,000 tons. With this size, even the largest U.S. aircraft carrier USS Ford cannot be compared with it. Ocean Flag not only has a large tonnage but also a very large usable area, with a total of 18 decks and 2,867 rooms, accommodating up to more than 10,000 passengers and staff. With such a large number of passengers, his daily consumption is certainly not a small amount. He consumes an average of 2.1 million liters of drinking water per day, equivalent to the consumption of a small town. The most special thing about Ocean Flag is that the designer designed an oasis on the ship and planted 12,000 trees and flowers. This Oasis-class cruise ship is more luxurious than the Quantum-class cruise ship. Brazil's Vale How. Brazil's Vale How costs $1.3 billion to build. The ship is 362 meters long and 65 meters wide. The deck area alone is equivalent to the area of 3 football fields. It can carry more than 400,000 tons of cargo at a time. The ship is owned by a Brazilian office. It is the world's largest bulk carrier. The purpose of a bulk carrier is to transport packaged bulk cargo such as ore or coal. Brazil's Vale is mainly used to transport iron ore from Brazil to Asia. Brazil's Vale can transport tens of thousands of trains at a time. The ship is also equipped with 7 cargo holds and a liquefied natural gas tank. Each hold can hold an average of 57,000 tons of ore, with a total load of more than 400,000 tons. This carrying capacity is 10 times that of a conventional large aircraft carrier. In addition, the Brazilian Vale is also the second largest ship in operation. Due to the large amount of water absorbed into the hull, this giant or carrier is allowed to dock at several deep-water ports in Brazil, Europe, and China. The TI-class supertanker costs $190 million, with a total length of 380 meters, more than 100 meters longer than the Titanic, a width of 68 meters, and a hull height of 76 meters, equivalent to the height of a 25-story building. It was built by the Daewoo Shipyard in South Korea from 2002 to 2003. It is the largest ship in the world. The TIA-class supertanker is a class of 4 super-large double-hulled oil tankers. These 4 ships are named T2 Africa Haoti Asia and Chu Hao Ut Oceania How respectively. This type of oil tanker can carry a huge amount of oil. It is said that it can be used by France and Britain for a whole day. After further modifications, only TI Oceanic remained to continue transporting, while the others were converted into floating oil storage and unloading platforms. This cruise ship includes red and white colors. The previous generation's tonnage leader, the Sea Giant, was scrapped in 2010. After being scrapped, It inherited the title of the world's largest ship. These 4 cruise ships were also completed 25 years after the Sea Giant. The capital of humanity builds ships that are classified as large cruise ships, and are also the largest crude oil tankers in the world today. Have you ever seen a 397-meter-long giant ship? Let's take a look at the 10 largest ships in the world. Pioneer Spirit. Pioneer Spirit costs $2.76 billion. Pioneer Spirit is a catamaran engineering ship manufactured by Daewoo Shipyard in South Korea. It is also the largest engineering ship in the world. The length of this ship alone is hundreds of meters. Not counting the crane, its hull is also 382 meters long. It is 124 meters wide, but the width of the hull is also 62 meters. Its displacement reaches a terrifying number of 110 tons. You know, the world's largest Ford-class aircraft carrier has a displacement of only 10 tons. This ship has such a large displacement because engineering ships need to buy as much underwater volume as possible to stabilize the hull as much as possible, and avoid the impact of strong winds and waves on the hull. Therefore, if this ship is at sea, it is like an island deeply embedded in this sea area. It is said that when building the Pioneer Spirit, the Korean Daewoo Shipyard used a lot of aircraft carrier technology to build this engineering ship. So much so that its large deck can carry more than 300 fighter jets. With such a scale and construction technology, if converted into an aircraft carrier, the American Ford aircraft carrier would probably be knocked out. Belle and Emperor Stamp Collection. The Rembelle and Emperor class cruise ships include the Belle and Emperor and the Belle and Queen. The length of the ship is 391.83 meters, the width of the ship is 68.05 meters, and the displacement is 110,000 tons. The parameters of the Belle and Queen are very close to the Emperor How. Both ships were manufactured by Japanese companies, and are currently owned by large-scale microshipping companies. Among them, the Belle and Emperor were launched in August 1975, but they were sold after only 10 years of operation and were scrapped. In the 1980s and 1990s, the world was in turmoil, the war continued in the Persian Gulf, the demand for crude oil decreased and many leaks occurred. Coupled with the environmental protection policies of many countries, the prospects for giant oil tankers were not very bright. In the 21st century, with the soaring oil prices and the advancement of technology, this type of supertanker has appeared more and more. It can only be said that the timing of the Belle and Emperor class tankers is wrong. The amount of oil loaded on such tankers is also very large. But after all, the time difference is nearly 20 years, so its fuel capacity is still not as good as the Ta-class supertanker. After all, the difference in technology cannot be compensated by scale. Emma Maersk is a large container ship, owned by the Danish shipping company Maersk. The ship is 397 meters long, has a displacement of approximately 170,000 tons, can carry 15,000 standard containers and can accommodate 11 shore cranes at the same time. Hermes is the first ship in the series of 8 Maersk Billion-class container ships. It was launched on August 12, 2006 and made its maiden voyage on September 8 of the same year. Love Mama 17 is named after the late wife of the former chairman of the Maersk Group. Since its launch, it has inherited the title of the world's largest container ship. Since the world's longest supertanker Sea Giant was scrapped in India in 2010, the 397-meter Hermes 7 also held the title of the most frequently sailed ship before the 3-class container ship was launched. The hull of the IMA 17 is coated with a toxic-based anti-corrosion paint. This coating can not only reduce the impact on seawater quality, but also reduce water resistance. It is expected to reduce the amount of oil exploited by 1,200 tons/year. This is the world's largest ship, worth $12.6 billion, larger than 6 large aircraft carriers combined. The Balzan container ship is the leader among cargo ships. There are 6 such ships in the world, and their sizes are also different. The largest is 400 meters long and 58.6 meters wide. The empty ship's tonnage alone is up to 195,000 tons. This size is already the largest Haji type. There is nothing on earth that he cannot hold. This is a container ship built by the United Arab Shipping Company at the Hyundai Heavy Industries Group of Korea. It is also the world's first hybrid cargo aircraft. It uses liquefied natural gas as fuel, and its emissions are about half of the international standard emissions. Therefore, The Balsan container ship is also known as the world's most environmentally friendly container ship. The container ship in World War II could carry 19,000 standard containers at a time. The maximum loading capacity is 200,000 tons. If given a platform, he could directly transport 2 USS Ford aircraft carriers out to sea. Sea Giant cruise ship. The Sea Giant was 458.45 meters long, longer than the Eiffel Tower is lying down, and 68.86 meters wide. Its displacement was also an astonishing 825,000 tons. The tanker was the largest supertanker ever built. Although it no longer exists, it once held the Guinness World Record for the largest tonnage of any ship. This record has yet to be broken. The full-stop cruise ship had a cargo capacity of 566,000 tons. The Knock-Nevis was first built in December 1976 at the Yokosuka Works of Sumitomo Heavy Industries in Yokosuka, Japan, with hull number 1016. Named the Sea Giant, the original customer for the Sea Giant was a Greek shipping company. However, 3 years after taking possession of the ship, he sold it to Hong Kong shipping tycoon Tung Ho-wan due to bankruptcy before the ship was completed. After Dong Haoyun took over the ship, he asked the shipyard to change the design parameters. The original Sea Giant had a displacement of 480,000 tons, but was later lengthened by several meters, thereby holding an additional 87,000 tons of water, giving it a displacement of 825,000 tons. Sea Giant officially became the largest ship in the world. The Prelude floating ship is worth $12.6 billion. The Prelude floating ship is the world's largest marine device, built by South Korea's Samsung Heavy Industries. Its height is comparable to the Empire State Building in New York. The Prelude floating ship was successfully launched on November 30, 2013. When fully completed, the Prelude floating ship will be the world's largest floating facility, weighing more than 600,000 tons. The Prelude is floating. The length of the ship is 488 meters, the width is 74 meters, and the height is 110 meters. The height alone is equivalent to about 40 stories. This is when it becomes the Lord of the Sea right after it appears. The purpose of building this ship is to serve as a floating liquefied natural gas platform. The ship can produce 3.6 million tons of liquefied natural gas per year. The Prelude floating ship is not only large in size, but also has the strongest wind resistance in the world, because it is equipped with 3 super powerful engines with a capacity of 6,700 horsepower, and cables that can withstand a level 5 tornado. Even if a tornado blows across the sea, this maritime lord cannot move a step. Therefore, its oversized size makes it impossible for him to move the Prelude by himself. Okay, every time he wants to move, he needs a tugboat to pull him forward. Have you ever seen the 10 largest ships in the world? The first place is 488 meters long, and has a total tonnage of 600,000 tons. It is larger than the entire Empire State Building in the US and is not afraid of tornadoes.